Tribal officials told me there's no telling how long the state of emergency could last. I spoke with local residents and they said they only expect the flooding to get worse. The helicopter launched from the Washington side but only got about 200 yards before plummeting into the Snake River. In addition to the food and various gifts, volunteers filled each one of these boxes with 5 individual care packages, every one meant for a soldier. You can see the snow is ankle deep here at Winchester Lake State Park, and some residents say they had to deal with drifts of at least 2 feet back at their homes. People come from all over the world to visit this very good dog, and he'd love for you to stay at this bed and breakfast. Behind me is just some of the damage done by a week's worth of flooding here in Kamiah. Veterans who visit the Benevolent Warrior Ranch will learn basic riding skills and experience a special bond with their horse that can help them deal with stress and trauma. Area 51, though, has long captured the imagination, including those of Shandy MacArthur and Larry Jones of the Lewiston, Idaho Paranormal Society. Since 1997, over 150 law enforcement officers have been struck and killed along U.S. highways. Lewiston girls trying to pull off the upset against the Clarkston Bantams. You guys excited? Yeah! This was the scene Sunday as crews pulled a helicopter from the bottom of the Snake River after it crashed with 2 people inside. Saturday night, the Nez Perce County Sheriff's Office was called to the scene after the helicopter went down in the river near 10 Mile Canyon.
The reports that we're getting were in an attempt to help some hunters on the Idaho side of the river. They deployed their helicopter from their helipad across the river.
Law enforcement tells me the helicopter launched from the Washington side but only got about 200 yards before plummeting into the Snake River. The 2 men inside, Lewis Weiss and Alexander Job, were able to escape the sinking helicopter and make it to shore, but then they drove off without talking to law enforcement, and authorities say they're still trying to contact them at this time.
We're here to ensure everybody's safety, and we need the pieces of the puzzles to be able to put together what happened and to make sure that everybody's safe.
The sheriff's office got reports that the helicopter had a mechanical failure, but are still working to determine the exact cause of the crash. The helicopter sank to the bottom of the Snake and was there until late Sunday afternoon.
We marked it for precautions just to make sure that nobody did hit it.
Corporal Patrick Dupay says the hunters were never in danger and that citizens should contact local authorities if they think there's an emergency.
We would sure like to be aware if they were going to launch some type of rescue mission or help mission to help these hunters out, because the sheriff's office does have resources to be able to deploy search and rescue, things like that.
You can see for yourself just how serious the flooding is here. This is the Sweetwater Creek, and it's getting ready to overflow in some spots. The Nez Perce tribe issued a state of emergency this morning for their entire reservation, and plans for evacuation are already in effect. Floodwaters rose around homes and shut down roads in Kamiah, Lapwai, and other parts of the Nez Perce Reservation this morning.
Right now, they were informing everybody to be prepared for evacuation if they are in a flood zone or near water levels.
Nez Perce Tribe Communications Director Kaylani Scott says the flooding is affecting a significant number of people.
Lapwai is starting to see more flooding, areas on Webb Road. Lapwai Creek is continuing to rise as well.
This front yard is almost completely underwater, and the family tells me they had to get 2 pumps just to slow the floodwaters down. Randy Brown says there's spots where the water is up to her knees.
I woke up and there was a good bit of water that had breached through the levee into our property, flooded out our shop.
Authorities are delivering sandbags to residents as well as stacking them around various homes. Tribal police, Idaho State Police, and the Nez Perce County Sheriff's Office are all at the ready.
They're inundated with calls all over the place. So everybody's working diligently to make sure people are safe.
In the event of evacuation, there are shelters available. The Piney Watts Community Center in Lapwai and the Wyass Community Center and a Red Cross Center in Kamiah.
If anyone is interested in donating supplies, food, anything of that nature, those can be dropped off at the community centers.
Tribal officials told me there's no telling how long the state of emergency could last. I spoke with local residents and they said they only expect the flooding to get worse. Reporting in Sweetwater, Stephen Pimpo, KLEW News. Sherry's officials tell us a group got to this restaurant intoxicated. Not long after, we're told a couple dressed as Native Americans began yelling war whoops in front of Native American customers and employees.
At one point, they started making war cries in a certain part of the restaurant and becoming disruptive. And in fact, at that time also, there were a number of customers in the restaurant who were also Native American.
That is what Sherry's spokesperson Lisa Amore says prompted employees to remove this couple from the Lewiston restaurant. The woman in the photo said in a Facebook post they were ousted because of their Native American costumes. Amore says that just was not the case.
They were asked to leave because of their offensive conduct and behavior and comments towards our staff and our guests.
Amore says that late Saturday night, a group arrived drunk from a Halloween party when the couple began their disruptive behavior. The shift lead at the restaurant asked them to quiet down. The couple's alleged response?
That's when they started making offensive comments at both their waitress and at the cook, both of whom are Native American.
Amore called their actions appalling, especially considering how close Lewiston is to the Nez Perce Indian Reservation. The screenshot from the woman's since-deleted Facebook post has now gone viral, with almost universal praise for the Sherry's employees' actions.
Everyone is very, very proud of the way in which our staff handled the situation.
As we mentioned, the Facebook page where that photo was posted has since been deleted, and we've been unable to reach out to the couple. Amore did point out that the couple is not banned from Sherry's, though they themselves have said they won't be coming back. In Lewiston, Stephen Pimpo, KLEW News. Stephen Pimpo coming to you live from Harris Field, and those earlier storms couldn't stop the Palouse Summer League from getting going. You look behind me, it's the Federal Way Knights taking on the Boise Gems. We're in the bottom of the fourth inning. It's the Knights up 3-2. Now, it was looking pretty dark and ominous earlier today. I wasn't sure this game was going to happen, and there's another wave of storms expected, but league officials have a plan in place just in case. Now, the Major American League Baseball tournament started today and features 20 teams planned for the next 4 days at Washington State, Colfax, and right here at Harris Field. The first tournament game at LC was scheduled to start at 4 between the Knights and Gems, but that game had to be pushed back over an hour because of a lightning delay. The Lewis Clark Twins are supposed to play their first game in the tournament at 7, but that's probably going to be pushed back too. They're going against the Spokane Expo Blues. The storms started earlier this afternoon and are expected to threaten on later tonight. Now, here is a review of the inclement weather policy for the summer series. The tournament director will make the final call on rescheduling, delaying, or canceling games after consulting both teams. Should weather cancel games, the schedule will be adjusted so that teams play as many games as possible while keeping the schedules even. Now, if games do happen to get canceled before the championship matchup on Sunday, the teams with the best records from the round robin advance to the championship